back once again to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about gaming and budgeting. Gaming has basically been a massive part of my life since I can even remember. In fact, I'm pretty sure I was probably born clutching a Mega Drive controller. I actually love gaming so much that I even worked in GameStop in my late teens and early 20s. It was one of my favorite jobs. It made gaming an absolute breeze because basically if you're staff there you could borrow games for like 3 days at a time as long as they were used, so you could have access to basically any game that you wanted. But then of course they decided to up and leave the country, leaving me not only redundant but with a pretty pricey habit to boot. Fast forward to many years later, whenever I decided to change my lifestyle and be a little bit more careful in how I spent my money, what did I do? I decided to get rid of all my consoles, all my games, and spend that time bullet journaling and doing yoga. I'm just kidding. While those are both great, I decided that changing my lifestyle and being a little bit more careful in how I spend shouldn't mean giving up a hobby that has brought me so much joy for so many years. So instead I just tried to find a way of being a little bit more savvy. But before we dive in, if you wouldn't mind taking 2 little seconds to hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and if you give this video a thumbs up, it kind of lets me know if you're looking for more budgeting videos or tips, or it basically helps me see what kind of videos you guys want from the channel. And with that being said, here are 7 tips that I found to be useful for gaming on a budget. Hey, check it out. I literally got the latest Spyro game from GameFlop for a tenner. What? Are you freaking kidding me right now? I just paid £45 for that the other day. God damn it. Okay, just gonna... Tip number 1, search multiple sources. Sites like Amazon make it kind of all too easy to just go in with a click of a button, order a game and have it at your doorstep. But a lot of the times you may not be getting the best deal that you can get. So what I advise and what I do is to check multiple places, check multiple websites, and even your local supermarkets and stores, places like that, to make sure that you're getting the best deal. You can even check places like Gumtree and eBay. I've had great experiences in places like that, and you can save a lot more money than you'd even expect just by doing something this simple. Hi, I was just wondering if I could trade a couple of these games in. Oh, cool! Thanks! Tip number 2, trade in games you no longer use. It was only a couple of weeks ago actually that I looked over the corner of my room and realised that the Guitar Hero controller had gathered this nice thick layer of dust because it hadn't been used in so long, and there was a couple of other games on my shelf that also had just been sitting not doing anything, and I knew I wasn't going to play them again. After a quick check online, I soon realised that the value of those games meant that I could basically walk out of my local game store with 2 other games that I had my eye on without spending a single penny. So not only is doing something like that beneficial financially, but it also is great to just kind of clear some space. It's another way of decluttering and keep things rotating. So as soon as you know you're not going to play it anymore, unless it's something really dear to you that you want to keep hold of, then just trade it in, because the sooner you trade it in, the more you're going to get for it. Tip number 3 is don't buy games on release day. We've all done it before, where you've gotten overexcited, pre-ordered a game, gotten it on release day, only to find out that a week or 2 later it's half, maybe less than half the price. Now there obviously are some exceptions, like there's certain Rockstar titles or Nintendo titles that really hold their value, and sometimes they even go up in price, but a majority of the time you can save a whole lot of money if you just hold off a little bit. Most games will go down in price, and pretty soon after the release day, to be honest. It might be a little test of your patience, but your wallet or purse will definitely thank you for it in the long run. And when there are times that you just can't wait, like say there's a title coming out and you know all your friends are going to be online playing, or you've been waiting for something for a really long time. I've been there myself. I mean, that's whenever you can use the benefit of trading in or using credit that you have from trading in previous games, and you can save yourself the cash. Number 4 is to utilize wish lists. If you're a PC or laptop gamer, one of the PC platforms I used to love using was one called Steam, and what was really good about that is if you found games that you liked, you could add them to your wish list, and what they would do is if those games went down in price or dropped in value, they email you out, then you don't miss out on a really good deal of a game that you've had your eye on for a while. I do this a lot now on the Nintendo store, like on my Nintendo Switch. Now while they don't email you out, like it's pretty simple that you can just kind of go in every so often, check your wish list, see what's gone down in price, and I've saved a ton of money just doing that. Number 5 is to use comparison sites. Believe it or not, there are comparison sites for games and consoles just like there are for car insurance and home insurance. One of my favourite websites is called hot UK deals. I'll leave a link to it in the little show more section below. On the site you can basically type in any game or any console you want and it will compare like hundreds of different websites and stores and do all that legwork for you, so you can basically find the best deal. This has been especially useful for me whenever it's time to find like new consoles and console deals where you get certain games with them and stuff. Like, it's a really good one to use for that. And if you're from outside of the UK, if you do a little hunting, I'm sure you'll find similar websites where you are. If you want to get even more bang for your buck, you can save a ton of money by keeping it retro and going back to retro games or consoles, or even just the previous generation of the most recent consoles. There's plenty of different options, plenty of choice out there, and you're bound to find something that suits your style, and it's just crazy how cheap some of those games go for now. And number 7, as always, spend your money with intention. Don't just buy games you see on a whim. If there's something you've had your eye on, plenty of the platforms now will offer free trials or demos. You can kind of get a feel for the game and see if you really want to make that purchase. And try to stick to buying games that give you hours of enjoyment for a reasonable price. That way you'll just enjoy the experience a whole lot more. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Pretty soon I'm going to be going through my own games and console collection and decluttering and sifting through some stuff as part of the Minimise with Mel series. So if you don't want to miss that or any of the other budgeting tips and advice videos I'm going to bring out, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and the little notification bell beside it too, so that you don't miss out on any uploads. Thanks so much for watching again, and I'll see you on the next upload. Bye!
I'll raise a glass to you, and you'll raise a glass to me, and when they're half full, we'll top them up with whiskey.